Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. Ty here, and this is Ty the Space. A couple of months ago I did a transformation of my garage. Man, when we moved into this house, it kind of looked pretty much bare, just the drywall and tape, so it wasn't really much of a livable space. So check out the video where we did the full transformation. In this video I'm going to be talking about 5 things that I installed in this garage that just makes so much sense. First and foremost, I have this electric wall-mounted pressure washer. It's an all-in-one solution, so it's got a 100-foot hose, which makes it very perfect for washing things around the back of the house, like my barbecue grill. It is also retractable, so I don't have to worry about rolling the reel back. I've been using this for quite some time and I love it. It makes washing my car very simple. In fact, sometimes before I go to work in the morning, I'm able to quickly whip this guy out, give my car a quick wash, and then make my way to work. Or if I need to wash my floors, wash my siding, I also run a water line in here. I currently have a hot and a cold water line. I kind of did that just because I've not seen any value to the hot water line, but the good thing is that they all come from the same place, so I can decide to flip it over to a cold water line as well if I decide that the hot water line doesn't make any sense. Again, it was one of those things that I kind of just like, why not? There's a few drawbacks about this pressure washer. First is the fact that GF advertised a 2200 psi for this pressure washer. However, during my testing, I wasn't able to get anything more than 1600 psi, regardless of the gun or the nozzle. So I think there might be a little bit of a false advertisement there. But overall, this guy is just for little things around the house. I don't have a lot of expectation out of it. It's purely for convenience. If I need to do something more heavy duty, I'm going to go bring out my gas-powered pressure washer, which I have in storage. Another new addition to the garage is this guy right here. I recently just installed it because I was lacking a lot of storage space for things like my brushes, my cables, ladders. So I decided to get this thing. It's called the Slat Wall. It's made by a company called Wall. I recently just added this to the garage because I needed somewhere for storage. But this guy keeps a lot of my things organized. As you can see right here, I have things like my detailing brushes for cleaning the cars and stuff like that. It uses this pegboard style, so you can get different attachments. So these hooks are all, easily removable, and you can move it around, change the location, get different kind of hooks, right? So I got this basket that I used to keep things. I had these accessories from a pegboard I used to use in my old garage that I never needed anymore. But luckily for me, I was able to use it with this crown wall. I was pretty impressed that it worked, right? I just take the hook and I put it right in there. I need to take that out, and then voila, it stores my brush. Because again, these accessories can get really expensive depending on what you're getting, right? So I have this one here, able to hold things like my ladder. So it's pretty much rated for heavy duty, right? Because you can even add things like bicycle, right? So I can hook on it as well, just like that. So I'm about 200 pounds and it's able to hold my weight as well. But I did install it to studs, right? So every single corner is stud mounted. So if you're hooking it up to just the drywall, it's probably going to reduce its, the rating in terms of its capacity. But because I bolted it onto studs, it's going to hold it's going to carry everybody's future in here. Now the third thing that I installed in my garage that just makes sense is the flooring. This guy is actually called the Swiss track, and I actually love it. It kind of makes this space more of a functional and usable space. Because a couple of weeks ago we had my kid's birthday party, and instead of going out to rent it all or using our deck, which is not ready yet, so we couldn't really use it, we're able to host the party in here, and everybody kind of felt like, it was pretty cool, right? We could use this space for hosting people, put up decors, and people could actually, hang out in here. It actually even makes this space very, very, usable for hanging out. And one thing I really love about the Swiss track is it uses this great style floating tile system, right? So the other day when it was pouring and raining outside, we still park our cars in here because again, I can't park my car outside. The car has to live inside the garage. And all the water, typically, without this kind of flooring, when it rains and you park the car, you have like pools of water around the garage floor, which makes the garage a little bit very misty, humid, and people are dragging the water from here into the house. But with this guy, the water actually kind of just floats right into the ground below and keeps the top still pretty much clean. We kind of excited to see how this guy is going to perform in the winter, because that's going to be the true test of this flooring. The only problem with this guy is that it requires constant maintenance to keep it looking clean. But to help with that, I bought something else. So for the fourth thing that I got for my garage that just makes sense is this guy. It's kind of a third-party mop head for my Dyson. Clips in there. I can kind of put water into the tank, so I can kind of use it to clean the garage floor. Yeah, so this mop head should help, or has been helping me out with keeping my garage floor clean for the most part. I don't know how this is going to perform in the winter, but again, stay tuned for winter months. I'm going to give you an update on how this flooring, this mop head handles over the winter. Let's move on to number 5. Number 5 is a shop vac. Now this is a wet dry shop vac. I personally would never recommend getting just a dry shop vac, because with the wet dry you can actually pick up things like liquid and solids. It's pretty much anything. You can pick up water, whatever. So it makes keeping this place pretty much clean, or even just vacuuming stuff in the car, or just keeping this clean in general. It's very handy. And the next thing about it to this guy is the lighting. This is called the hexagon or the honeycomb lighting. Kind of filled up my entire ceiling with this light, and it's lit up this entire space, making it super bright and making it look more homely and more bigger than it actually is. Now one thing this lighting does is to help me brighten up the space. That's why because I have these black floors that soak up all the light, as well as the concrete footing and then the black ceiling. I was kind of worried that the black is going to make the space feel small, but this lighting kind of gives it a completely different vibe. I definitely recommend getting something like this hexagon or or an honeycomb light, whichever name you prefer. Another thing that I installed here that makes sense is the TV. I mean, a lot of the times we're hanging out here, it kind of makes sense to have this TV in here. I can watch multimedia. Sometimes I think my son has probably used it a lot more, because when I'm trying to get stuff done, I'm able to play something like Miss Rachel for him on there. So that keeps him entertained while I am able to get other stuff done. Sometimes it does try to help me out, but I'm hoping that at some point it'll be able to help me out more. The only problem I have with this TV again is I get a lot of glares and reflection on this TV. Like my overhead lighting there reflects on the TV. Sometimes when the garage door is open as well. So far so good. Those are the things about it to the garage that makes so much sense. I know I added a couple of extras to the list, but yeah, they will consider those bonuses. This garage will continue to see improvements and will continue to change, as my needs evolve as well. So if you'd like to see more about the garage, make sure to, subscribe, like. What do you think about my garage? What do you think I could have done better? Do you have some other suggestions or recommendations? Make sure to leave it down in the comment section. I'd like to hear from you guys. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take it easy, stay safe. Ty checking out.